Well, we've heard a lot about our growing Idaho, but a new study tracking the top 10 states where Americans moved in 2022 did not include the gem state. And it's the first time we haven't been included on that list in nearly 10 years. So today I reached out to the authors of the study as well as a local realtor to find out if this could be a sign of the times. For the past several years, we watched as Idaho made just about every housing market list, and we witnessed people from all over the country moving to the gem state, giving birth to the term our growing Idaho. But is our growing Idaho now grown?
We've seen a lot of growth in Idaho over the past decade, but here in the last few years, it's starting to dissipate.
Just this week, moving and relocation company United Van Lines released its 46th annual National Movers Study, revealing the top 10 states where Americans moved in 2022. And for the first time since 2014, Idaho did not make the list.
What we're really seeing for the state of Idaho, so for instance, in our COVID year 2020, we saw about 70% movement in compared to 30% movement out. And here in 2022, we're looking at 55% moving in.
Eily Cummings is the vice president of corporate communications for United Van Lines. She says that study is based off the company's shipment data and tracks trends from year over year. And they've noticed another trend when it comes to the gem state.
Over the course of the last maybe 3, 4, 5 years, we've really seen a lot of retirement movement in Idaho, and we're not seeing that here in 2022.
For perspective, we reached out to the Boise regional realtors to find out if studies like this have any impact on what they're seeing when it comes to the housing market. Debbie Myers is the 2023 president of Boise Regional Realtors Board of Directors and has worked in the industry for 27 years.
I don't think that that's a big indicator that suddenly the pipeline has dried up or people are not moving into Idaho. Definitely, we're still seeing plenty of people purchasing homes in Idaho and moving here. Of course, the market has slowed. The interest rates went up, and we're just seeing some normalization. Basically, prices are getting to be more realistic, which is a good thing for consumers.
She adds they've also seen a trend when it comes to how people move over the last several years.
It used to be that when people relocated from one state to another, they brought every stick of everything they owned. And we're seeing a trend where people are bringing fewer items and purchasing new or downsizing or doing other things. So it is not unusual that fewer people are using moving companies because there are other options available.
And while the growth in our growing Idaho may be slowing, it's not over.
Many areas of the country, people have just slowed down purchasing from the crazy, wild market we saw during COVID. In my career, I have experienced some seriously down markets, and this is not one of them.
And United Van Lines tells me when it comes to people moving from Northern California to Idaho, well, that was also down almost 10% last year. By the way, the top 5 states Americans moved to last year, according to the study, were Vermont, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Delaware. And we'll have that entire study later on in this story at ktvb.com.